Are you sabotaging your own success? Well, you are not alone because I am the king of sabotaging my own success. And today I'm going to talk to you about the 3 main points that I learned during all those times that I sabotaged my own success. And I'm not going to sit here and ramble on and give you some long word salad. Let's just get straight into point number 1, which is the fact that people have limiting beliefs about themselves. And the other 2 points are important, but I think this one is just the most critical and most important problem, and one of the main, probably the main reason why people are self-sabotaging when it comes to their personal lives, when it comes to their businesses, their family, their friends, and everything else in between. People sabotage their progress because the beliefs are so limiting that they hold about themselves. You've probably built such a negative identity around yourself through certain ideas of the fact that you say that you're not disciplined. You say, well, I'm just bad with money, or I'm just not the type of person that has success. And as we get older, that wiring becomes deeper and more ingrained into our brains to the point where we completely associated with those ridiculous and negative thoughts. And let me tell you right now, that is one of the most ridiculous things that you can tell yourself. Your brain is always going to try and keep you small because it sees danger when you get out and risk different things, when you get outside of your comfort zone. And well, outside of your comfort zone is where you're going to grow the most in life. That is where you're going to find success. You're going to have failures along the way, but you're going to learn from those failures. And that is where you're going to find success. Your mind and your brain are going to try to bring you back to what feels familiar to you. And success is not impossible. It's just the fact that you have to let your identity catch up to who you're becoming and who you're striving to be. And number 2 ties into number 1 fairly well. It is everyone's fear of change. Everyone fears change at some point. You just have to ask yourself, are you one of the few people who is willing to walk into change and accept how uncomfortable change is? Because the only way to success is to understand, navigate, and accept change. It might be new responsibilities, new expectations, and it's probably going to involve you having to leave a familiar environment or even leave relationships behind. So even when the adventurous part of you wants to get out there, wants to change your life, you're always going to have to battle this one part of you that is trying to keep your life predictable and safe. Because when you stay in a predictable and safe environment, nothing is going to change in your life. And if you want to know how to spot predictability and safety in your life, you will see it kind of evolve as things such as procrastination, hesitation, or just being fearful of opportunities, walking away from opportunities that can move your life forward in the right direction. And before moving on to point number 3, I want to remind you all that your self-sabotage is completely rooted in fear and comfort. You are self-sabotaging because you do not get out into the adventure of life. There is a wall that is up between you and the life that you can have, and that wall is built by bricks of fear and comfort. And you just have to break through that wall. That being said, point number 3 is that success creates pressure. And a deeper reason that you self-sabotage is because success is going to bring new expectations that you are not familiar with. They are outside of your comfort zone. And when you start doing well and you see things start to change and evolve in your life, the stakes are going to feel higher and you're going to feel more pressure. Others are going to start expecting more out of you, and you're going to start expecting more out of yourself. Thank God. And yes, that pressure is going to feel overwhelming at times, but you just have to push your way through it, because when you get to the other side, it's the other side of that wall that I was just talking about. You will realize that you have overcome and you have escaped the life of self-sabotage, and you have stepped into the life of adventure. Because when you're afraid of success and you are afraid of this pressure, it's just your brain keeping you from feeling overwhelmed. But I will tell you right now, when you step into that feeling of uncomfortable, overwhelming anxiousness, and you push through it and you get to the other side, you have just built so many new pathways in your brain to where you're going to get this hit of dopamine that makes you want to keep going and keep seeking that adventure in life. So just remember, I'm not here to accuse you of these things. Self-sabotage is something that you're probably not doing consciously. I just wanted to bring it up in this video to bring it to the forefront of your mind, to understand what you're doing. Because you're probably not understanding the fact that you have this mix of fear, this mix of identity and pressure that are working quietly in the background. They're holding you back. They're telling you all these things that are causing you to sabotage your own personal life. And it's okay for those thoughts to be there. Because when you notice those thoughts and you know how to deal with them, it makes it that much more rewarding when you overcome them, power through them, and get to the life that you ultimately want to lead.